Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Casey. If you're new here, we have got a 30-minute flow today that is going to focus on shoulder opening and core. So we'll get started in child's pose. So you can either have your knees together, send your knees wide, let your torso soften down between your inner thighs. And then as you settle in to your child's pose, just starting to notice any sensations in your physical body. So noticing what's tight, what's not, and where can you send your breath to soften and create a little more space. And on your next breath, see if you can walk your fingertips even closer to the top of your mat. And then walk them over to the right edge. So your left hand might stack on top of your right. Maybe your left fingertips start to crawl past your right hand. But keep pulling your left sit bone back towards your left heel. A little opening through your left side body. And then walk your hands back through center and over to the left. Come back through center. See if you can find even more length through the sides of your waist. And then press up to your palms, table. So the shoulders stack over your wrists. You can open or close the knees a little bit so that they stack under your hips. And then on your inhale, lift your chest, drop your belly, cow. And on your exhale, dome through your upper back. Tuck your chin, your tailbone, cat. And just move back and forth on your own with your breath. Starting to mobilize the spine. Find any organic movements that feel good for you. Maybe circle through your torso. And then eventually make your way back to a neutral spine. So fingers spread wide, wrap your triceps back, pull your low belly in. And then kick your right leg straight back behind you. Flex through your right foot. And left arm reaches by your left ear. Keep pressing the earth away so much with your right hand and your left shin so that your torso lifts away from the mat. And on your exhale, pull your elbow to your knee under your body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Lengthen on your inhale. Keep it moving with your breath. And then eventually meet with everything lengthened. Take a breath. Plant your left hand. Step your right foot outside your right pinky finger. Lizard lunge. So you might need to slide your left knee back an inch or two. And then you can keep pressing to your palms. But you might drop down to your forearms. Wherever you are, keep breathing. You can find some movement here to open up through the outer right hip, the hip joint. And press back to your palms. Tuck your back toes, step your right foot back to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Slide your hands back under your elbows by your ribs. On your inhale, lift your chest, Cobra. So press into the tops of the feet so much that your knees lift. Then keep pulling your elbows together behind your back, but stay long through all four sides of your neck. Take one more inhale. Can you lift your heart a tiny bit higher? Lower on your next breath. On your inhale, Cobra, chest lifts. This time, see if you can let your palms hover, and then maybe you find a cactus shape with your arms. So the elbows come straight out from your shoulders, backs of the hands press behind you. And then if you want to fire it up even more, can you lift your thighs off the mat, but keep pressing your big toes together. Take one more inhale. Set it all down. And last time, inhale, lift your chest. So again, you might goalpost the arms. Maybe the legs lift. If you want a little more, maybe your biceps reach by your ears. Take a breath. And then let it all go. Press your hips to your heels. Child's pose. Find some space in your low back. And then come back up to table. Neutralize your spine when you get there. Left leg kicks straight back. Right arm by your right ear. Get buoyant through the middle part of your body. Find some space between your torso and the ground. And then pull elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. On your own with your breath. Think more about how long you can get from your fingertips to your inner left heel, less about how high you can lift the leg. So meet on an inhale, lengthened, and then just plant your right hand. Left foot steps outside your left pinky finger, lizard lunge. So the right knee might slide back a couple of inches. So you can keep pressing into your palms or drop down to your forearms. Last couple of breaths. Press back to your palms if you're lowered down. Tuck your back toes, step your left foot to meet the right. Plank. And this time lean forward, lower chaturanga. Elbows pull back. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Roll over your toes. Downward facing on your exhale. Big breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Right leg rises. On your exhale, pull your knee to your nose. Lower your knee to tap the mat. Hug it back into your chest. Lengthen it up and back. Exhale, knee to your nose. Lower to tap. Pull it back in. Sweep it high on your own. A couple more cycles. See if you can keep your arms straight and strong the entire time. Let your breath initiate the movement. So meet on an exhale with your knee at your nose, and then just step between your palms. So climb up to your fingertips, energize the left leg, and then think cobra in your upper back. Run your arms down by your ribs. So the palms can face each other or the mat. We just want to think about opening up the front of your shoulders, the collarbone. Keep lengthening your tailbone towards your back heel. And then interlace your fingers at your low back, Yoga Mudra. Soften your shoulders down your back. Keep the front ribs contained. Lead with the crown of your head to float you forward, Warrior 3. Wrap the outer right hip back. Tiny internal rotation through your left leg. Can you find a little space between your low belly and the top of your right thigh? And then see if you can keep what you've got with your arms. Let your chest drop forward, standing split. So the gaze might drop towards your right big toe. And then maybe it looks back behind you. If you've still got the hands, gently release your fingertips to the mat. See if you can go a tiny bit deeper. Inner left thigh lifts a little higher. Keep breathing. And put a really deep bend in your right knee. And then step the ball of your left foot all the way back. Left hand stays where it is. Right fingertips reach to the sky. The left ribs wrap to the right inner thigh. And then the back of the left knee keeps lifting to the sky. So the left hip lifts to the height of the right. And turn all 10 toes toward the right edge of your mat. Heel toe or float your right leg back. Vashisthasana, side plank. Left tricep wraps back. Front ribs corset in. Take one more inhale. And then float your right forearm to the mat. Kick your heels to the right. Left fingertips go high. Ground down through the inner part of your right hand. Pull your shoulder blades apart. And then drop your left forearm down. Forearm plank. So notice if you want to interlace your fingers here. See if you can flatten through your palms. Get heavy in all the knuckles of your hands. And then step your feet out just a tiny bit wider. Drop both heels to the right. Keep both forearms down. Can you lift the outer right hip a tiny bit more? And then come back through center and drop your heels to the left. A little buoyancy in the left side body. Come back up through center. Walk your toes to your elbows. Dolphin pose. Keep pressing the earth away with your forearms so you can find some more space between the ground and the tops of your shoulders. And then on your next breath, see if you can press into your palms at the same time to come up downward facing dog. Oh, yeah. Take a breath. Exhale, let it go. Left leg rises. Exhale, knee to your nose. Lower it to tap. Pull it back into your nose. Sweep it high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Tap. Pull it back in. Lengthen it high. Nice. Keep it going. Stay with your breath. Meet with your knee at your nose, and then step next to your left thumb. You'll come high to your fingertips. Slide your shoulders away from your ears, and then arms run down by your sides. The crown of the head pulls away from the inner right heel. And then interlace your fingers at your low back, opposite thumb and pinky on top if you can remember. So stay heavy in the left big toe. Pull the navel in. And then lean forward to float you up, warrior three. So how light can you get your body on the left leg? So instead of sort of sinking down into it, can you lift everything up off of the left leg? And then maybe keep what you've got with your hands as you dip the chest down, standing split. Maybe the back of the neck softens. If you've got the hands, gently release. See if you can go a little bit deeper, fold a little further over your left leg. And then step the ball of the right foot all the way back. Right hand inside the left foot, left fingertips to the sky. We broaden through the chest. Find space between your shoulder blades. And keep pinning your outer left hip in as the left sit bone sinks down toward your left heel. Turn your toes to the left edge of your mat, heel toe or float the left leg back. Side plank. So you can always come down to the bottom knee, that's perfect. Float your left forearm down, kick your heels to the left, forearm side plank. And then that left hand might drift in a tiny bit, whatever feels okay for you. And then drop your right forearm down. So again, spread the fingers wide. Tuck your tailbone toward that space between your inner thighs. Stay long through your neck. And then put a little bend in your knees. Think cat in your upper back. Press the ground away. Pull the navel in. And then re-lengthen the leg. Walk your toes up towards your elbows. Dolphin pose. Take one more breath. Drop to your knees. Child pose. So the arms can run down by your sides. You might grab your heels. Soften the skin at the tops of your shoulders. And when you're ready, come back to downward facing dog. Big breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Right leg rises. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose. Maybe you hang out here or see if you can bend your elbows, chaturanga your arms, press back up, step your right foot next to your right thumb. Spin your back heel down, left arm pulls you up, warrior two. We got lots of cats in yoga today. So in warrior two, we think about the inner thigh of your right leg lengthening forward, pulling the outer edge of your right hip back. So that way you can see at least your big toe, maybe your second toe inside your right knee. And then float your right forearm to your right thigh, left arm by your left ear. Just gonna open the door for Todd so he's not banging the whole time. Extended side angle. So the right ribs wrap toward the left edge of your mat. The right shoulder rolls down your back. And on your next breath, press into your feet. Come up warrior two. So for just a breath, pull your right leg straight. And then come back to bend your right knee. So the right arm reaches by your right ear, and then drop your right hand towards your shoulder blades. Left arm wraps behind your low back, and then the left hand reaches up towards your shoulder blades. So the fingertips might find each other, maybe not. If you've got a strap handy, you can use your shirt, whatever you need. But then notice if you start to flare out through your front ribs. See if you can bring them back in, pancake them in towards your back body. Press the back of your head into your right forearm. And then see if you can keep that shape with your arms, but reverse your warrior. So the right elbow reaches back. Keep reaching back, pull your right leg straight. And then come all the way up, release your arms. Right fingertips go forward and down. Left fingertips reach to the sky. The crown of the head lengthens away from the tailbone. And then we kind of have this tendency sometimes to lean back and open up so much through the chest, but at the expense of our front ribs. So can you find opening through the chest while drawing your front ribs in? Take a breath. Press into your feet. Come up, reach back. Windmill your hands, frame your front foot. Step to plank. Optional vinyasa brings you back to downward facing dog. From down dog, left leg goes high. Pull your knee to your nose. Option to take a breath. Or look forward, bend your elbows, pull the elbows back, press back up. Step between your palms, wrap your right heel down, right arm leads you up, warrior two. So the wrists pull away from each other, the upper arm bones move away from each other. Tailbone goes down, front ribs draw in. Then float your left forearm to your left thigh, right arm by your right ear. Right tricep wraps down towards your cheek. Left palm opens up to the sky. So we think about finding this external rotation of the upper arm bones the whole time, really. Take a breath. Ground down through your feet to come up, and then pull your left leg straight, just a breath. Come back to bend your left knee, and then the left arm reaches by your left ear, left hand drops to your shoulder blades, right arm wraps behind your low back, and then maybe the fingertips touch. Maybe you reach for your shirt, your hair, a towel, whatever you have handy. Usually one side tends to be a lot tighter than the other one. The front of my right shoulder usually talks to me when it's the bottom arm. And then reach back, reverse. Keep reaching back. Pull your left leg straight. Come all the way up, release your arms. Left fingertips reach forward and down. Right fingertips go to the sky. Bring some awareness into your feet. Heavy in the outer edge of your right foot. Seal down through the inner part of your left. Get long through your left side body. Take a breath. Root down to rise up, reverse. And then windmill your hands to frame your front foot. Step to plank. Optional vinyasa brings you back to downward facing dog. From down dog, take a giant inhale. Open your mouth, let it go. Drop your knees. Find child's pose, just a couple of breaths. Take one more breath in child's pose. And then plant your palms, tuck your toes, come back downward facing. And just step your right foot between your palms. And drop your left knee down, arms rise, knee down warrior. So send your arms out wide, wrap your right arm underneath your left, eagle arms. The backs of the hands can press, the palms might press, but pull your forearms away from you. And then you might find a tiny upper back bend, fingertips lift to the sky. Gently release your arms. Plant your fingertips, pull your hips back to stack over your left knee, half split. And your right heel might slide forward just a tiny bit. You just want to find some length in the back of the right leg. Even if there's a bend in the right knee, that's perfect. And come back to frame your front foot. Bend your knee, and then just step back, down dog. Left foot between the palms, back knee drops, arms rise. And send your arms out wide, left arm wraps underneath the right. Forearms pull away from you, see if you can lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders, maybe even a tiny bit higher than your shoulders. And then maybe find that upper back bend, forearms lift. Keep pulling the navel up and in. Find some space between the top of your left hip and your left thigh. Unravel your arms, plant your fingertips, lengthen through the left leg, half split. Think about pulling your heart towards your left toes. So staying longer through the spine, through the low back. Frame your front foot, bend your knee, step back down dog, and then drop back to your knees. And then lower your forearms down. So we came into Dolphin Pose earlier. Feel free to hang out there. You can also skip it if you're ready for Child's Pose, feel free to stay. But otherwise, we'll root down through the palms, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and then see how close you can walk your toes towards your elbows. And then when you get there, you might play around with lifting one leg to the sky. And then maybe you stack your hips so far over your shoulders, get so light on your left toes, that maybe they just barely leave the mat. And then you might switch sides. So the left leg lifts, get light on the right toes. Maybe they just barely hover. Might catch a little hang time. And when you're over it, come back down. Child's pose. Sit back up, cross one ankle over the other. Sit behind your heels. Extend your legs to the top of your mat. Flex your toes. Slide your glutes behind your sit bones. Take an inhale, reach high. Hinge at your hips to fold. Paschimottanasana. Come back up. Scoot a little closer to the top of your mat. Roll all the way down to your back. And when you get there, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And cross your right leg over your left. You might reach for your shins, maybe for the outer edges of your feet for Gomukhasana, whatever variation of it you need. But the closer your heels are to your glutes, the more gentle it will be. And then the further you pull your feet away from each other, so the more parallel your shins are, the more intense it will be. Release your feet. Let your knees drop to the left. And the hips might slide back toward the right an inch or two. Come back through center. Unhook your legs. And then switch sides. Left leg wraps around the right. You can reach for the shins, maybe the outer edges of the feet. See if you can keep softening your sacrum down. And then release your feet. Let your knees drop to the right. Let your left ribs melt down toward the mat. Left shoulder melts down. Come back through center. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself one last squeeze. Take in a giant breath of air. And then open your mouth. Let it all go. Sprawl open. Shavasana. You have arrived. Let your feet and knees flop open. Palms open up to the sky. Let your body rest. Feel free to hang out here for as long as you need. If you're with me, you can slowly make your way up to a seat, bringing that same quality of Shavasana with you. Floating your hands to rest at heart center. Holding gratitude for your breath, gratitude for your body. And take a giant breath in through your nose. Hold it in at the peak. Open your mouth, let it go. Namaste. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join me in practice today. I hope you have a great afternoon. Let me know if you've got any questions, comments, leave it all below. If there's anything that you want to see, I would love to hear some suggestions, and I hope you have an awesome day.